What's that sound? It's For Amusement Only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast.
Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. Today, I am running around like a chicken with its head cut off. I have quite a bit of stuff to do and very little time to do it. I have been testing the multi-bingo. That's the primary thing that I've been doing with my free time. And things are looking really good. I'm really proud of what I've been able to accomplish, and I'm really excited to have people come and try it at the York Show here in just a couple weeks. So very exciting. So the York Show, again, is going to be September 30th and October 1st. I've commissioned Ryan Claytor to illustrate a beautiful Bingo Row t-shirt. And those t-shirts will be available for free for anybody who can put together a 4 or 5 in a row winner on any of the games in Bingo Row. And speaking of the games in Bingo Row, that's the other thing I've been doing a lot of, cleaning, waxing, preparing my games for transport. So I should have quite a few of my personal games there at the show. There has also been a large number of people who have responded to me and said, hey, the Bingo Row last year, I'm going to bring another game this year. Or I'll bring the same game I brought last year, or what have you. It's been pretty gratifying to see this take off, and I hope it continues to do so. So that's really what's going on. I'm about halfway done with cleaning the games that I'm intending to take, and then I should be able to move on to some other games and some much needed maintenance, which I've deferred because I've been working on the multi. Now, as far as the multi goes, I cannot recall what I said last time, but as of today, which is September the 20th. There are 40 different games in the multi-bingo, and that includes games which were never produced, as well as games which made it to full production, and a little bit of everything in between. Games that only made it to sample production, and so forth. So, we've got games like Hole in One, where only the back glass has ever been found, and there's rumored to be one out there, complete. Games like Mississippi Showboat, where there's only one in the world. Games like Rodeo from United, both versions. They made a 3-card and a 1-card and didn't produce either of them. That's a fascinating little piece of history that is available for folks to experience in the multi-bingo. So, again, I'm pretty excited and proud of what's happened here, and I'm really excited to share that with everybody, and I'll just keep saying that. All right, so instead of repeating myself, let's talk about a couple of interesting things. You may notice things are very echoey. That's because I'm deep in the bowels of my arcade and standing over by machines, which I'm in the process of cleaning. Duncan Brown just posted on RGP information about his upcoming Expo seminar. Anyone who's attending Expo, I certainly encourage you to go listen to his seminar. He has developed a new game from the drawings of Harry Williams that was never produced. He is doing it purely through EM, and that's very, very exciting. I hope to at least hear the audio from the seminar at some point. Unfortunately, I will not be at Expo. Also, if you're at Expo, be sure to stop by the P-Rock booth and check out all the custom homebrew pinball machines. There's some really, really excellent work that's going on in the homebrew community, and it's all quite impressive. Building a new game from scratch that's purely EM, like Duncan is doing, is incredibly admirable and would be very difficult, I think. So I am just super duper impressed. That was initially something I wanted to do for a custom game, but that has not come to pass yet. Unfortunately, I've got to get back to cleaning, but before I do, I thought I'd go over today's featured game, which is the 1967 Gottlieb Sing-Along. Sing-Along is an incredibly fun game. It's a wedgehead, single-player EM, and has beautiful artwork. Some of Roy Parker's best, I think. And the unique cabinet paint is expressive of the theme that Parker chose for the artwork. But let's talk the rules of the game first. The primary feature when you step up to Sing-Along that you'll see are 4 different kick-out holes. Left to right, they are white, red, yellow, and green. Each of them has a sequence of numbers underneath of it, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And printed on the center of the playfield, holes score 10 to 50 points. When the hole is lit, you earn a special, a replay. This feature and this particular layout has been seen before in other Gottlieb games. In this case, they replaced the gobble holes, which were typical for those positions, with kickover holes. If you land in the white hole, it will kick over to red, over to yellow, and over to green before kicking back to your right flipper. So, how do you complete the sequence, and of what import are those numbers anyway? What you're trying to do is advance all the way up to number 4 for each hole. To do that, you have to go through the numbers when they're lit. Up at the top, you have rollovers for 1 on red, yellow, green, and white. And on the left-hand side, up near the top, you have number 2 for red and 2 for white. Those are in a row, straight down. Below that, on the left-hand side, you have the number 3, white, which is a stand-up target. And then the left out lane is number 4. On the right-hand side, you have number 2, yellow, and 2, green. On the right-hand side, you have number 3, green, and the right out lane is 4, green. So where, you might ask, are number 4, red, and number 4, yellow? And heck, for that matter, where are number 3, red, and 3, yellow? Well, the answer for number 3, there are stand-up targets up under where the ball feeds in from the top. Through those rollovers, there are pops. There's a cluster of 4 pops, which are spread out. Actually, it's not exactly a cluster. They're spread in a trapezoid, and if you roll through the leftmost lane, you're likely to get a bank off of the top left pop bumper and hit that stand-up target on the left for number 3, red. On the right-hand side, you've got a similar formation, a symmetrical playfield layout. When you come through the rightmost rollover, the green number 1, you can bank off of that red pop bumper into number 3, yellow. And then number 4. All the number 4s are drain collects, which means when you drain in between the flippers, the flipper gap is very large on this game, you'll earn number 4, yellow, and number 4, red. Once you've done so, completed holes will alternate as being lit, and you have to shoot that hole in order to win your replay. Now, if you have fantastic aim, great reflexes, and can always land in the white kick-out hole, then you'll earn a replay. However, if you happen to land in the green when it's not lit, even though you've completed the sequence, you won't actually earn a replay. Instead, you'll earn 50 points. The gameplay is fast and challenging. I certainly have a hard time completing more than one sequence at any given game. Even completing a single sequence is very challenging unless you're really paying attention. So this is a great game, in my opinion. The Add-A-Ball version has slightly tweaked rules, but the same playfield layout. Both Melody and Sing Along have the same cabinetry, the same cabinet graphics, and similar backglass artwork. The only tweak is the balls to play versus the credit wheel. So let's talk about this cabinet artwork that I am so fond of. It's fairly simple, as are most Gottlieb games, but in this case the base coat is white with two different colors of blue. There's a lighter blue that's striped, and then below that is a large stripe that is dark blue. In that large stripe there are 5 different stars on each side and each side of the head. And the frontispiece of the head, the little facade on the front there, is white stripes that are angled with the sides of the back box down to the bottom, and a cross with a blue star in the center. Now the reason I like this cabinetry so much is because of the theme. The theme is basically Christmas caroling. So there's a great pastoral type scene on the back glass. You've got kind of this whole town, and there are different groups which are caroling, and you have kids playing in the street there. There's one kid pulling another on a sled. There's somebody with car trouble, and everybody's listening to these carolers. So the blues that they chose for the cabinet artwork represent to me winter. I mean, I think ice and snow when I see those colors, and it really just helps immerse me in the game. It may sound silly to some that hear me say, oh, I like that blue color. But it's so unusual and so unique in the pantheon of Gottlieb wedgeheads. I really, really like this game. And the playfield. The playfield is like a continuation of the backglass scene. I think the artwork is just wonderful on this game, and there are so many neat hidden touches, as Roy Parker is famous for in his artwork, and things which elevate this to a truly great game. In fact, I was just reading about this game in the Pinball Trader newsletter, Dennis Dodell's publication, and somebody was talking about how wonderful it was, the stand-up target right in the center of the playfield. If you hit it, a bell sounds, and when you look down at the artwork of the plastic, which is mounted right above that stand-up target, you see a dog, which is caroling as well. So it's evocative when you hit that target that the bell sound you hear is actually the dog chiming in with all the singing that's going on the playfield. Again, just a complete art package, very beautiful, and it's definitely a game I would love to have in my collection one day. Anytime I see it at the York show, I definitely give it a play, or any other show for that matter. People's collections at their homes, all that stuff. I mean, it's fantastic. Definitely give it a shot if you haven't before. Well, that's all for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. My name again is Nick Baldridge. You can reach me at foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com, or you can call me on the Bingos line. That's 724-BINGOS1, 724-246-4671. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, via RSS, on Facebook, on Twitter at Bingo Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram, also at Bingo Podcast, or you can listen to us on our website, which is foramusementonly.libsyn.com. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.